Don't worry. Great story. And the story of Ruth. So Naomi is Ruth's mother-in-law, and Naomi loses her husband, and so she's a widow, and then she's got the 2 boys, and then the 2 girls move in, and she loses not only her husband, she loses both of her sons. So now it's just Naomi and her 2 daughters-in-law who are foreigners. She's in their foreign land, and she says, I'm going to go back to my homeland. You 2 young girls, stay here. They're very young, teenagers, maybe early 20s, and you just stay here and find a new husband. And the one girl says, okay, she's very sorry for Naomi's loss and all that, but Ruth says no. Now, Ruth has just lost her husband as a young girl. Think of the pain. Think of the bitterness. How many have gone through tough time? You're alone. She's hurting. Now, she could have went to match.israel.com, right? She could have hit the swinging, Bethlehem singles scene, right? The bar at Bethany and get in the scene, right? I mean, you got to put the Bible into context. She says, no. Naomi, your God will be my God. Your people will be my people. Wherever you go, I will go. I am committed to you. In the prime of her life, she says to Naomi, not only a widow, but someone who's lost not only her husband, but both of her sons, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to stick with you. Not the place to pick up men, hanging around old widows. But what happens? Read the story of Ruth. They go back to her home, to Naomi's homeland in Bethlehem. And Ruth goes out there and she's going to take care of her. I'm just going to take care of you. Don't worry, Mom. She's not even her real mom. She said, I'm going to take care of you. She goes out into the fields, and because it was part of the culture and law that you had to let the poor get into the fields and get the part and the edges of the field that you didn't glean, and she goes, I'll just go out and pick up scraps. I'll bring back food for us. Don't you love this? I'm going to fill your tank. I'm not going to leave you alone. Now, Ruth's hurting too. Ruth's alone too. She just lost her husband. She's not playing it smart. And it says in the story of Ruth, it just so happened. How many know stuff just happens? It just so happened. She ends up in the field of a man named Boaz, who just so happened to be related to Naomi, who just so happened to put her in line to marry this guy named Boaz, who just so happened to be wealthy and powerful. And it just so happened that he took notice of her. And it just so happened that what? Ruth filled Naomi's tank, so God filled Ruth's tank.